Hello students. In the previous lecture we have learned about sharpening spatial filters, in that about foundation, Laplacian operator and unsharp masking and high boost filtering. Now today we will see about sharpening spatial filters, in that using first order derivatives for nonlinear image sharpening. So now first derivatives in image processing are implemented using the magnitude of the gradient. For a function fxy, the gradient of f at coordinates xy is defined as the two-dimensional column vector. So here del f equal to grad f is equal to gf, gx, gy is equal to derivative fx and derivation of fy. So here the vector has the important geometrical property that it points in the direction of the greatest rate of change of f at location xy. The magnitude length of vector del f is denoted as mxy, where mxy equal to magnitude del f is equal to gx square plus gy square root. So the value at xy of the rate of change in the direction of the gradient vector. So note that mxy is an image of the same size as the original created when x and y are allowed to vary over all pixel locations in f. So it is common practice to refer to this image as the gradient image. So because the components of the gradient vector are derivatives, they are linear operators. So however, the magnitude of this vector is not because of the squaring and square root operations. So on the other hand, the partial derivatives in above equation are not rotation invariant, but the magnitude of the gradient vector is, in some implementations, it is more suitable computationally to approximate the squares and square root operations by the absolute values. So here mxy is equal to gx plus gy. So here this expression is still preserves the relative changes in intensity, but the isotropic property is lost in general. So as in the case of the Laplacian, the isotropic properties of the discrete gradient defined in the following paragraph are preserved. Only a limited number of rotational increments that depends on the filter mask used to approximate the derivatives. So as it turned out, the most popular mask used to approximate the gradient are isotropic at multiples of 90s. These results are independent of whether we use that equations. So nothing of significance is lost in using the latter equation if we choose to do so. As in case the Laplacian, we now define discrete approximations to the preceding equations, and from this formulate the appropriate filter mask. In order to simplify the discussion that follows, we will use the notation in figure A. So this figure to denote the intensity of the image points in 3 cross 3 region. For example, the center point Z5 denotes fxy at any arbitrary location xy. Z1 denotes fx1, fx minus 1, y minus 1, and so on, using the notation introduced in figure this. So as indicated in section 3.6.1, the simplest approximations to first order derivatives that satisfy the conditions stated in that section are gx equal to z8 minus z5 and gy equal to z6 minus z5. Two other definitions proposed by Roberts in early development of digital image processing use cross differentiations. So here if we use equations, this gx minus z9 minus z5 and cy equal to z8 minus z6. So here mxy, so mxy equal to z9 minus z5 plus z8 minus z6. So mxy is equal to z9 minus z5 plus z8 minus z6, where x and y are vary over the dimensions of the image in the manner described earlier. So the partial derivatives terms needed in equation can be implemented using the two linear filter mask. So here the masks are referred to as a Roberts cross gradient operators. Masks of even sizes are awkward to implement because they do not have a center symmetry. The smallest filter mask in which we are interested are of the size 3 cross 3. So approximations to Gx and Gy using 3 cross 3 neighborhood centered or Z5 are as follows. So here mx this equation gx equal to z7 plus 2z8 plus 29 minus z1 plus 2z2 plus z3, and gy is equal to z3 plus 2z6 plus z9 minus z1 plus 2z4 plus 27, right? So here these equations can be implemented using the mask in this figure. So the difference between the third and first rows of 3 cross 3 image region implemented by the mask so approximates the partial derivative in the x direction, and the difference between the third and the first column in the other mask approximates the derivative in the y direction. So after computing the partial derivatives with mask, we obtain the magnitude of gradient as before. For example, substituting gx and gy, mxy equal to z7 plus 2z8 plus 29 minus z1 plus 2z2 plus z3 plus z3 plus 2z6 plus z9 minus z1 plus 2z4 plus 27. So the mask in these figures are called Sobel operations. Mask of these figures, they are Sobel operations. So the idea behind using a weight value of 2 in the center coefficient is to achieve the coefficient in all the masks two shown in this figure to some 0, indicating that they would give a response of 0 in an area of constant intensity as in expected of derivative operator. So as mentioned, the computations of gx and gy are linear operations because they involve derivations and therefore can be implemented as a sum of products using the special mask. So the nonlinear aspect of sharpening with the gradient is the computation of mxy using involving squaring and square roots or the use of absolute values, all of the which are nonlinear operations. These operations are performed after the linear procedures which yields gx and gy. So the gradient is used frequently in industrial inspection, either to aid humans in the detection of defects or, what is more common, as a pre-processing step in automated inspection. So it is will be instructive at this point to consider a simple example to show how the gradient can be used to enhance defects and eliminate slowly changing background features. So in this example, enhancement is used as a pre-processing step for automated inspection rather than for human analysis. So figure A shows an optical image of a contact lens illuminated by a lighting arrangement designed to highlight imperfections. such as the two edge defects in the lens boundary seen at 4 and 5 o'clock. Figure B shows the gradient obtained using above equation with the two Sobel marks in figure D and E. So here the edge defects also are quite visible in this image, but with the added advantage that constant or slowly varying shades or gray have been eliminated, thus specifying it is considerably by computational task required for automated inspection. So the gradient can used also to highlight small spaces, so that may not readily visible in grayscale image. So the ability in a small discontinuities in an otherwise flat gray fields is another important feature of gradient. Now this is the example of combining spatial enhancement methods. So its goal is to enhance the image by sharpening it and by bringing out more of the skeletal detail. So with a few expectation like combining blurring with thresholding, we have focused attention thus far on individual approaches. Frequently a given task will require application of several complementary techniques in order to achieve an acceptable result. So in this section we illustrate by means of an example how to combine several of the approaches developed thus far in this section with the image enhancement task. So in this image A is a nuclear whole body bone scan used to detect disease such as bone infection and tumors. Our objective is to enhance this image by sharpening it and by bringing out more of the skeletal detail. So the narrow dynamic range of the intensity levels and high noise content make this image difficult to enhance. So the strategy we will follow is to utilize the Laplacian to highlight fine detail and the gradient to enhance prominent edges for reasons that will be explained shortly, a smoothed version of the gradient image. Now figure B shows the Laplacian of original image contained. Here is the figure B, so it contained the sharpened image at this point simplified by adding figure A. So here we can obtain this image by adding figure A and B. So just looking at the noise level at figure B, we would expect a rather noisy sharpened image if we added figure A and B, a fact that is confirmed by the result in figure C. So one way that comes immediately to mind to reduce the noise is the use of median filter. So median filtering is a non-linear process capable of removing image features. This is unacceptable in medical image processing. So now figure D shows a Sobel gradient of the original image computed using the equation of components Gx and Gy were obtained using the mask in figure D and E. So here is the figure E. So as expected, edges are much more dominant in this image than the Laplacian image. The smooth gradient image is figure C here. So it was obtained by using averaging filter of size 5 cross 5. The two gradient image were scaled for displayed in the image manner as a Laplacian image because the smallest possible value of a gradient image is 0. So the background is black in the scaled gradient images rather than the gray in the scaled Laplacian. So here figure D and E are much brighter than figure B is again evidence that the gradient of an image with significant edge content has a value that are higher in general than in Laplacian image. So the product of Laplacian and smooth gradient image is shown in figure F. So note that dominance of a strong edges and the relative lack of visible noise, which is the key objective behind masking a Laplacian with a smooth gradient image. So it is resulted in figure G. So the significant increase in the sharpness of the detail image over the original is evident is the most part of the image, including the ribs, spinal cord, pelvis and skull. So thus the final step in our enhancement task is to increase the dynamic range of sharpened image. So there are number of intensity transformation functions that can be accomplish this objective. So that histogram equalization is not likely to work well on image that have dark intensity distributions like our images have here. So histogram specification could be solution, but the dark characteristics of the images which we are dealing lend themselves much better to power law transmission. Since we wish to spread the intensity levels, the value of gamma in that equation has to be less than 1. So after a few trial with this equation, we arrived at the result at figure H, obtained with gamma value is equal to 0.5 and C is equal to 1. So comparing this image with figure G, we can see that significant new details is visible in figure H. So the areas around the wrist, hands, ankles and feet are good example of this. The skeletal bone structure also is much more pronounced, including the arm and leg bones. Here figure H represents a significant visual improvement over the original image. So the approach is just to discuss is representative of the types of processes that can be linked in order to achieve results that are not possible with a single technique. The way in which the results are used depends on the application. The final user of the type of images shown in this example is likely to be a radiologist for a number of reasons that are beyond the scope of this section. So the physicians are unlikely to rely on enhanced results to arrive at a diagnosis. However, enhanced images are quite useful in highlighting the details that can serve as a clues for further analysis in original image or sequence of the images. Thank you.